It would help if I unmuted myself. Uh, so hey, it's Tina B, your operations management mentor. And I need to figure out how I'm going to start these videos because, hey, consistency. Okay, so I also was making sure that my video was streaming live, which is why that feedback just came because that's part of the delay. Anyway, um, I am I was in the middle of saying that I need a consistent intro. Um, I, over the years, have went back and forth over my title, mainly because of all the things that I do, learn to do, or clients needed me to do. And so, anyway, uh, today I want to talk a little bit about imperfection. Huh. And that was not scripted, but imperfection. Um, is something that many of us, I am guilty 10 times over of uh, in this pursuit of perfection, wanting things to be right, wanting to say the right thing, wanting videos to start the way that I want them to start. Uh, yeah. And over the years, of course, I have seen, you probably have as well, many people who have let go. And I am on the road of letting go of this need to have everything go right, everything be right. But how do you do that when you're building and growing and you're looking to maintain a brand, start a brand, uh, create a community, so on and so forth? How do you let go of of that desire for things to be perfect? Um, I'm actually just going to cut to the end. You don't. See, you don't let go of it because it's part of the process. We are human at a minimum. And so we're going to make mistakes. Things aren't going to happen the way that we want to. Shoot, some days we may not even show up as the best version of ourselves. And so we have to get used to a combination of things. Yes, we want excellence, and it's not an or, and we have to be open to things not going the way that we planned and being okay with it, which is a hard uh, process. It's hard to get to that point where, especially if you have, either grown up or been in work environments or been in any kind of environment where perfection was something that um, perfection was something that was required. It wasn't even an option. And so if you are one of those people who is used to um, being in situations where you had to do everything right, this is going to be a little more challenging to get to the space where you're okay if you put something out and it's spelled wrong, email, maybe even a sales page. You're okay if you're recording a video and you stutter, you uh, can't remember what you were going to say, and you don't have a desire to re-record the video. These things are going to happen. And if we spend so much of our time trying to fix the things that aren't perfect, uh, put out content, video, written copy, audio, whatever, with this idea that it has to be right before we put it out, we will never get things done. We will never know if where we're trying to go is where we need to go. We'll never know because we'll be so stuck on step one. step one of the process of getting clients, working with clients, uh, step one of the process of finding people to work with, figuring out what you need when it comes to the people that you need to work with, figuring out processes, even the step of identifying what, who, and the why of your business. If you are looking at it from the perspective of it has to be right before I launch, it has to be right before I make that first phone call, it has to be right before I hit publish, I'm here to tell you that even the best, even the person that you look up to, that you admire, I can guarantee that they have something or some things that are out there that's not perfect. And so you have to get to this point of saying it's okay that that wasn't right. Um, and back to the question, how do you get there? So part of it really is acceptance. It's accepting that things aren't going to be perfect. That part is going to take time if you fall into that category of being in environments where perfection was a necessity. The other thing that has to happen is continued action. This is where, and I did a video, I did a podcast episode on this, where this is where consistency starts to come in, because the more consistent you are with uh, everything that we just mentioned, the more consistent you are with your work, the better you're going to get, the closer you're going to get to perfection, knowing that perfection is not real. Okay. Um, then the other thing is really surrounding yourself with a couple of people. So one of those people has to be someone who's all about getting it done by any means necessary. And I don't mean the grind, hustle by any means necessary. That's not the person I'm talking about. I'm talking about the person who can figure out alternatives to reaching your desired destination. I'm talking about the person who's like, okay, so we may not, we may want it that way, but because of time, because of the budget that we're on, we may need to use, we may need to consider using another way until we can get to the point where we can have things delivered the way we want. Here's an example. So a lot of people create worksheets and planners and so on and so forth. And there are many, many, many ways that you can create your planner. Uh, Simple, open up a Word document and start creating your planner. PowerPoint, there's Canva, there's Adobe. There's just so many ways that you can go about creating your worksheet. But if you don't have time, or you don't have the space, you or someone on your team don't have the space to create these worksheets in the beautiful format that you want, what's an alternative? An alternative is to create either a Word document that you can share or a Google document that you can share with your client. And so it's really being able to say, okay, the end goal is for them to get X. It doesn't have to be Canva perfect. We'll call it Canva perfect for now, because for those of you who know what Canva is, you can create beautiful worksheets with Canva, but it doesn't have to be Canva perfect. We just need for them to have access to a worksheet. And so having someone that either is on your team, that's an accountability partner, but someone that will help you get past those stages so that you can get to the end result, and that's going to push you to get stuff done and not stay stuck on it being perfect. The other person that you're going to look to need is a mentor or a coach, because sometimes we get stuck here. We get stuck in that desire to be perfect, and that desire is actually holding us back. And so, in this pursuit of perfection, I am encouraging you to do things uh, imperfectly. I think that's the word, not sure. But I encourage you to do things without it being 100% the way that you want it to be. The goal, especially if you know that perfection is one of the things that hold you up, the goal is to get it done, to hit publish, to put the video out there, to make that phone call. That's the goal. And the more that you are accomplishing goals, the more that you'll get into a rhythm, and you'll start seeing things that are meant for you. You'll start being able to delegate things easier, because you know that if you try to do that, it's going to take you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to be on. It's also going to let you know whether or not you are promoting, selling the right product or service. Because if you're consistently putting things out there, and it's you're getting crickets, then perhaps you're not selling, promoting the right thing. And so in 2023, I'm encouraging you to do things imperfectly, because you're going to get to where you want to go faster. Okay. I'll see you on the other side. Um, for those of you who are struggling to get things started, to get things done, you're struggling to find the right people to surround yourself with, I encourage you to sign up for a get to know session. It'll be in the caption. The link for you to the link for you to book your get to know session, which is free, will be in the caption. But I encourage you to schedule one of those so we can figure out what your next step is, what your next best step is. Okay. Again, this is Kina B signing off, and I'll see you on the other side.